Welcome to today's interview. I'm Carrie for gluten's sake, and I'm just waiting a second while it gets turned on here. Hello, the gluten consultant. Hello, hello. Yay. Okay, Coral is on, so let me invite her. Okay, going live with Coral to talk all things. Hey, Olivia. Yay, so fun. Yay. Hi. How are
How's it
you?
going? So good.
Good.
What time is it over there?
6:30 in the morning.
You're amazing.
Well, I'm so glad we could make this work. Sorry, I'm gonna
I
grab my
know.
headphones. I keep forgetting. I think it's like my situation here.
You're so good.
So it's your afternoon, yes?
Yeah. Yeah. It's 4:30 p.m.
I love that we can
Time
make
zones
this
are
work though,
always,
right? Like there's always a
I know.
way.
There's always a way. Time
Yes.
zones are such a crazy phenomenon, right? Like, it's crazy.
I know. So I'm an early bird, so this works.
Oh, good. Good.
Yes. Yay. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know
No,
why I'm
you're totally,
having like volume problems otherwise.
you are
Um
so good.
okay, so let's start with why don't you just introduce yourself to all the lovely people on?
That is so exciting. Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Coral Barajas. It's always like interesting to say to people. They're like, "Well, you don't look like one."
Yeah.
I know. I married one, so I claim. So I am with Serving Celiacs, and I have celiac disease as well. Two of my daughters. I have four children. One has a gluten sensitivity that we're not sure if it's celiac or not, and so we just keep her gluten free too. And she willingly and wants to. So there has to be something. If she's denying the chocolate cake, she's got to have some
Absolutely.
issues. Yeah, she's got to have some issues. So yeah, it's I am just here, and I hope that you guys are following along and on all of our celiac journeys. Like, isn't it wild? We all like, no matter where you are in the world, we are all here together. I feel like, I mean, it's just so great to connect through social media.
It's amazing. Like, I seriously am having so much fun doing these interviews and chatting with people, and then chatting with people after, and all the takeaways that people are learning.
Yeah.
It's just so great the level of awareness and resources that there are that didn't even exist like 5 years ago.
I know. And the positivity that's come about. Isn't it crazy? I'm like floored. I'm so proud. I'm like, yeah, we're doing this every month. So, yeah.
I know. And just to really take it as a positive instead of so
Yeah.
much of the negative around it. Because, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we're all human and we can have people to complain and talk, about
Yeah.
these things with. But to have the level of resources and to know that, you simply have to be gluten free to manage this autoimmune disease is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes. It is. It is phenomenal. So when my first daughter was diagnosed, so none of us knew we had celiac disease. Till my first daughter, she started losing her hair in like crazy chunks. I'm talking like huge chunks, right? All over her head. She was always small, and the doctors were like, she's just petite. She's fine. She had the extended belly. They're like, she's fine. She'll like run it out. And we're like, okay. And then finally, when like her hair just like was literally just out, like you just touch it and it's gone. And so the doctors were like, okay, now we'll test her. I'm like, oh, thanks. So, but
Now.
but they wouldn't think celiac disease. They thought it was cancer, leukemia, kidney failure. Like, we were going through the rounds. So we were like on this emotional roller coaster, trying not to like freak out, just trying to stay like, okay, let's just figure out what it is and move on. So everything started coming back negative, like, no, no cancer, not nothing. And I'm like, can you test her for celiac disease? And they're like, no, it's not that. And I'm like, can you just test her for that? And they were like, well, fine, and sure enough, that's exactly what it is. Mom knows best, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
holy cow. So we like came into this world, the celiac world, with like a grateful heart. Like, it could be so much worse. And that is the exact message that if you follow me, that's like totally what I'm sharing nonstop, 24/7. Like, it could be so much worse. And like, okay, how grateful we are that we could eat gluten free. And of course, we have other side effects. And no, it's not easy every second of every day. And do we have our trials? Heck yeah, it's tough. But it's only as tough as we make it be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, you could make it overwhelm you and you can never leave the home again. Or you could be like, dude, we got this. You know, like, yeah, I'm going to pass on that. Or I'm going to prepare more for my food or for my dinner before we dine out. But like, it's so much better than like going through chemo. I mean, and
Well,
for all of you going through
exactly.
that, I mean, like, my hats goes out to you. That, and I don't take that. I say that with like the most sincere heart ever. Like, we can all be grateful for our own trials, and yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
love that. And that's why I love connecting with you
Oh,
because because that's life, right? And that's how I view
yeah,
life too. It's so your
yeah,
mindset and your choice of how you deal with anything, right? Like
yeah,
how you choose to show up, how you choose
yeah.
to look at situations. Like, yeah, we all have stuff we deal with and we will forever
Right,
have that. But you get to
right.
choose what your
Yeah,
mindset is around that and your
yeah,
choices around, like, okay, well, maybe I get to be a little bit healthier. I get to prepare more. I get to
yeah,
advocate for myself. There's
yeah.
a lot of positives that come out of it.
There's so many, and it's fun when we unveil those. You know, when you're like, "Oh, that's a great blessing," you know? One of my favorite things I think is like when you go somewhere and like a friend or a family member has like completely gone out of their way and like made
Mm.
sure something's safe for you. Like like certified gluten-free packaged, like not open, like, and they go through all the way and you're just like, it's like the most melting factor of like, that person truly cares and they just get it. So I'm just so grateful for those that are so kind and try to adapt and feed us.
I couldn't agree more. Or like when I'm going to somebody's house and I'll have friends that'll take a photo of something and send it to me and be like, "Is this okay? Can I?" If
It's
it's like
so
a
good.
dressing
Yeah,
or something,
yeah,
and it's just
yeah,
so thoughtful. I
yeah.
love that.
I know. Yeah. And that's a kind of bond that you just never could know or appreciate until you go through something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell us, I really want to ask you about this live webinar you've been doing and some of the
Oh,
work
man.
that you've been doing,
Yeah.
especially with
Yeah.
people like newly diagnosed, right?
Yeah. Totally. So I did one last week, and then I'm doing another one this Thursday, a live webinar, and I'm just going on and sharing tips and how to stay positive throughout celiac disease. I give 3 amazing tips, and I know what it's like to be first diagnosed and like walk around the grocery store and be like, what the heck? Like, this is like a four
Yeah.
hour trip. And you're like, what do I even eat? And you go home and you cry because, like, we all do. Because it's like, okay, what do you even
Yes.
do? And then you have to like pull yourself together and get back at the store and buy the right stuff. You know, like, I mean, this is a journey
Yes.
that all of us have to take. And it's that emotional connection. And so I want to help people get to that point a lot sooner than without having the resources. So, or even what I've had to go through, or what, just like, oh, what everything that I wish I would have had. And so, that's what we talk about in the webinar. And so, if you want to join in, you can go to my website at servingceliacs.com and sign up. It's that easy. 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But I have, like, right now, I have a gluten free guide that is really been amazing, giving you options that are safe. I joined up with Just Ingredients. I don't know if you follow her, but she is incredible. She talks about, because, okay, a lot of times we eat gluten free and then we're like substituting with like packaged crap, right? I mean, like,
Right.
straight up, like, it's just crap. And we kind of know it and we don't really want to know it because we're like, at least we're safe. But what's happening to our insides is, yeah, we're replacing it with something else that's causing inflammation. And so I teamed up with Just Ingredients and we made this guide that is like crazy awesome. So it gives like the good options and then the better options. So safe products that are packaged, because we know we have to live too. And we gotta, like, we're on the go, like, huh.
Yeah, you are
I feel
crazy
like,
busy.
yeah, yeah. So like sometimes I mean, the best case scenario, we eat Whole Foods all day. But you know what? That's not reality for most people. So it gives the options of that and just providing the resources. And of course, I have a celiac e-course that helps people. Like, it has different modules and it really carries you. It takes you by the hand and just like, these are the different things that you need to know. But like, that's pretty much what I do all day is I think about everything that I wish I would have had and how, like, what I can like pay it forward of like just life,
Yes.
like, just whatever we can do,
100%.
let's just help each other out. because you know what the doctor told me, and probably I don't know if it happened to you too, but like doctor's like, Google it. Your daughter
Oh
has celiac disease.
shoot.
Google it. You'll find lots of resources there. So I go home and Google it, and I'm like, holy cow, it sounds like death. Like literally straight up, I'm like, these people are telling me and we're all dying, you know? And I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be that way. And so I didn't have any type of resources to turn to or good organizations, or I didn't know what to do.
Well,
So,
most people don't. That's the thing,
yeah,
right? Okay, so
yeah.
we have a couple good comments. Oh, somebody says they actually want to set up a resource where they help people go shopping and look around
Ah,
and what to avoid. That would be
yes,
awesome.
do it. That would be
Yes.
so fun.
And then, Coral, do you know Olivia at Yum Gluten Free?
Yeah.
She said she
I
would love
just
to
follow
talk to
you.
you about swaps in Australia. She's awesome. We did a live last week, and then she interviewed me,
Um,
and it was so fun.
I love that. I love Celiac Awareness Month. Isn't it the best? I'm like, can every month be celiac? Can it be May all year round? Because I
It
feel
can
like
be.
we're just like, we're getting like this strength, especially this year. I feel like there's so many more celiac awareness influencers, and it's so exciting. It's like, yes, if 1 in every 100 people have celiac disease, holy cow, we need more of us, you know?
I know. And that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, I had a really great conversation. I don't know if you know Rachel at Freedom. I think she changed her handle to Freedom Rach. And we just were talking about this whole concept of abundance. And like, it's not too crowded. There aren't too many people. Like, we need more resources. Like, especially people that are passionate and have a genuine desire to help, you
Yeah.
know? And
That
the
live
thing
it.
that, yeah, and the thing
Yes.
is like even if every single person had similar resources, you
Yeah.
have your unique story and your
Yeah.
unique way of helping and connecting with
Yes.
people, you know?
Yeah, because to be honest, not everybody wants to be positive.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Some people are turned off and they want somebody grumpy to teach them, and that's totally great. Or some people just need to be reached out. I know that sounds like so off, but it's like really true.
It's true
So
though. Some people
yeah,
like don't want to get outside of their negativity. They just don't.
right, right. And so they just need to find their people, and that is so good. But I can't live like that, so you wouldn't want to follow me. But it's true, like we all just live differently. We're all doing the best we can with what we've been given, like straight up. Like that's like my tagline. It's like, man, we are all just trying, so don't judge someone else and whatever. Like we all handle it differently. We all do. We all do.
Yes, absolutely. I completely agree. So,
Yeah,
how long ago was this when you started the journey with your daughter and the hair falling out and finding out about celiac?
yeah, about 4 years ago.
Okay.
4 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. So like immediately I was like, holy cow, where are the resources out there? And so then I started
Yeah.
just like researching the heck out of it and finding the goods and things. And then I actually started an educational gaming app called Allergy Reality.
That's right.
And I teamed up with a chef and we did that and we made a cookbook and like we were just like gangbusters and I love it. But I realized my heart is with celiacs. Like
Hmm.
I love all kinds of food restrictions and I love all people, right? But like my heart is like, dude, if you're celiac, I'm just like, boom, we're friends, you know? Like
Yes,
that's it. We
yes.
connected. So it's really awesome. So then I revamped serving celiacs. And so it's been about 9 months where I've been working this account and just loving it. Like it's so natural for me to just hop on and teach and share. And that's so good when you do what you love, you know? Because it's
Yes,
never work. It's like, oh, I'm cooking this, guys. You want to see what I'm cooking? You know, I'm going to the
totally.
store. Here I am. It's like not even anything hard. So, yeah,
Exactly. And it's something like I've been telling people lately where I'm like, I want everyone to have the resources that I
yeah,
created because I'm like,
I
I love
know.
to travel and I
I
want you
know.
to be able to
Dude,
travel safely. You know what I mean? Like it's just
yeah,
natural. It's like why would I not share this resource with you? Why would I
I
not
know.
tell you about
Okay,
it?
let's talk about your guide. Like, holy intense. Like, I'm traveling to Honolulu on Saturday, and I'm like, how do you go about making this guide? Like, that's insane. You're crazy amazing.
Well, it really started as this like passion project of, and also trying to say like, how can I stand out a bit and help people in a way that I don't just feel like, oh, here's another like travel, and not that it's bad, but like here's another
Yeah.
just like similar
Right.
resource. Like I really wanted
Yeah.
something unique and different. And I also was just finding people were only wanting to dine at entirely gluten-free places. Like it
Yeah.
was a trend, and yet there's Find Me Gluten-Free, which is awesome. Like I
Yeah.
know it really
Right.
helps people, but it's
Right.
not just dedicated gluten-free spots.
Right.
So anyways, it's funny because I was just chatting like I don't know if I want to turn it into an app like Dream World, like trying to
Do
think
it.
bigger.
Do
Like that's
it.
my latest
We
thing
can
that I'm
chat
like,
after because I know the app world.
oh my gosh, we should totally chat because
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is like my latest vision of like that's kind of where it needs to go if it's going to sustain, I think. You
That
know?
would be so
And
amazing.
honestly, if I don't do it, somebody else will do it. And
We'll
great.
do
I
it.
mean, somebody
Yeah.
needs to do
Yeah.
it, but like I love it, so I would love to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it just really, and then it honestly, and I was chatting with Olivia about this, I love it because, and you're such an entrepreneur, so you
Yeah.
understand. It
Yeah.
was like, I could then interview restaurants and I could talk about people's why and like I could talk about celiac and helping people all day long, but I didn't really know, but I'm like, yeah, I'm an entrepreneur and I have to connect with people that have big visions and that want to create
Yeah.
something out of nothing. Like those are my
Yes.
people. And
Yes.
so those are
Yeah.
all the bakery owners, the restaurant owners, right? Like they had to
Right.
take a
Yeah.
chance and open this thing
Yeah.
that people were like, yeah, but it's going to taste bad
Yeah.
and are people going to come
Yeah.
and like all
It's
those
just a
things.
trend. What are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I know. I feel like there's always such a good story behind a restaurant that is gluten free. So do
Yes.
it.
So
Do it. I will
so
cheer you on the entire way.
I loved it. Okay, we should totally talk because I forgot you had an app before. So
Yeah.
I would love
Yeah.
to chat with you offline.
Yeah.
But just a random plug for a bakery and talking along the same lines. It's actually on my website, but Mason Dixon in Alabama. They did a TED talk. Well, she did a TED talk several years
Yeah.
ago, and it was kind of what inspired me to start like interviewing the restaurants because she was terrified and she did this TED talk and talked about opening this bakery where all the odds were stacked against them. Her husband's the dreamer, he's the visionary, he's the one that was like, let's do this. And she's like, we need money, we can't do this, what are we doing, this is crazy, let's go back to
Yeah.
safety and security. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's a really great TED talk and it's talking about starting their bakery, which I just love.
Oh, I love that. That is so cool. That is
So,
really, really
anyways,
cool.
people should check it out. So tell us more. I want to know more about these guides that you have for eating. You have a dining, or a, you have like
Oh,
so
I
many
should have
different
had it.
cards. Yes.
I know. I just do it because I'm like, what do I need? Oh, okay, I need this. So I have one card that says I have celiac disease. And what it
Mm.
does is it's like, it just teaches people the basics. So, like, if I have a new babysitter, I give her a card. Or I go to a new
Oh,
class, I like give the teacher a card of the class or a church or wherever I am. Like, if I'm a neighbor moves in, I'm like, oh, here you go. And then, like, packaged foods and like the importance of certified gluten free, like the label, and not like cross contamination. And if you make me something in your home, I'm going to deny it, right? But I'm grateful for it, but I can't have it. So thank you in advance. And I appreciate the thought type thing. I should get the card
yeah.
out. It's a lot more eloquent than that. But it's the basics of like covering you, like what cross contamination is, what gluten really is, and what celiac disease is. I mean, it's just a little card. And that's fabulous. And then I also have a card that's like uh, my gluten free favorites. I get all the time, like my kids' teachers or their friends or somebody, they're like, "Hey, I want to give you a treat or your kids a treat, and what's safe or what is okay for you guys." And so it's just like I have filled out for all my kids' favorite like candy bar and lollipop and snack or chip or whatever because they want to buy them and they just feel bad that. So, anyways, I have this little card that you fill out and then you give it to people when they ask. It's like so fun,
That is
very
so
clean,
awesome. And
very clean.
honestly, going back to where you started with that, I think that's such a key point that I wonder if a lot of parents think about, like, tell the babysitter.
Yeah. 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 Because not only maybe your whole house is safe, but they bring treats for my kids, the babysitters do. Or they'll bring their dinner to my house. No, no,
And
no,
you're
no.
like, no, no.
Just like I just keep my house 100% gluten free. It's just easier. It's just easy. Everybody's different, right? Everybody's just trying their best of what they know how, and I get it. So, but for me and my house, it's way easier if everyone's just gluten free. So I just let the babysitters know too.
Yeah, that's really helpful. I mean, maybe all moms think about that. I'm not a mom, so I don't have to think about that, but I think these are the conversations I'm loving, of the people that are in different
Yeah,
stages of life and have
yeah,
different outlooks on things, that can share, like, "Oh, did you think about this? What about
yeah,
this resource?" you know?
yeah, yeah. When we first were diagnosed, I couldn't find much positivity. I don't know why. Maybe I wasn't looking in the right places. I'm sure it was out there at the time. But the University of Chicago, they give a little goodie bag for those that are newly diagnosed. You have to prove, like, you have to send in the test results or whatever. So you have to officially be diagnosed. But they send you a care package, and it has like a magazine and a book and like little samples of stuff. And that was like Christmas to us. Like, we're like, look at this
Mm.
package, it's gluten free. Like, and it just kind of helped us, and it was really, really good. So maybe one day I could pay it forward and do something fun when people get diagnosed too. But it just warmed my heart. And like, to know that there are resources out there for us, it's just incredible. Like, to have a guide like yours, to be able to like know that you could travel the world and have celiac disease. Like, that's insane. You like inspire me so much. Where were you living when we first connected? And you were
I
like,
could have
I'm
been
gonna
in
go.
I could have been in South Korea. I mean, I've been all over Asia the last almost 2 years now.
But where were you before you went there?
Colorado is home
Okay,
for
yeah.
me.
I think you're like, I'm gonna do something crazy. And I was like, wow, that is crazy. You're like, wish me luck. I'm like, yeah. And I just think like that is like so empowering and so like inspirational to be able to see, like, dude, nothing's gonna hold you back. Like, look at you, you're a boss. Like, you're
Thank
like
you.
work out like no other. You're like so fit, so healthy. I love like all your little stories, and you're like going to the farmers market. I don't even know what you call it half the time, but it looks like little farmers markets. And I just am like, that is the life. How fun. That's so fun.
Well, and for me, and like I was talking on some of my interviews this week, for me, and it wasn't that I noticed it right away, but I feel like I lost out on so much of life because of celiac disease. And so
Mm.
that I didn't know it. But like my story was that I was really depressed. I just had a lot of like mental health struggles and issues
Mm.
as a result, that now I can connect to celiac, but I didn't know at the
Wow.
time. And so
Wow.
my 20s were spent kind of like, yeah, I had fun and I was okay, but like I kind of felt
Right.
like I missed out on a lot of life. And so now I'm just
Yeah.
like, nothing will stand in my way. I will travel, I will empower other
Yeah.
people, I will help other people and show them what's possible, you know? Like that's why
I
I'm so
love that.
passionate.
I love that. Wow. That it's when you have to go through trials and then you can turn around and teach people. There is like no education, no class, no nothing that you can take that will teach you these principles that you learn like from the hard knocks. Like, this is like the nitty-gritty. Like, to think of all that you have gone through to get to where you are. This is just it's just awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Well, and that's the thing, right? And that's why I want other people to figure out whatever that thing is for them. Like find
Yeah.
something that lights you up, that you're so
Yeah.
excited to do every day, and go do that, because that's
Yeah.
what we need more of. Like we
Yeah.
need people living in their purpose.
Yes. Yes, I couldn't agree more. And especially in the entrepreneurish like mindset that we both have, it's like, yes, like, don't work an 8 to 5 if you're not happy. Like, do only the jobs that you love. Like, I have like 6 different jobs right now, and it's because I love every single one of them. Like,
So do I.
I can't give them up, right?
I
It's like,
I'm the same. I have like 4 things. It's kind of crazy, but it's
oh, me too.
fun.
Yes, it keeps life so exciting, and it keeps me feeling fulfilled. And I think that if we can all feel fulfilled, especially as women, like you can rock this world just like any man, and any man that's feeling down or depressed or low too. Like, dude, you can make a huge difference in this world. Like, we are all given the same opportunities. It's just whether we're willing to take that jump. And sometimes you have to jump further to get there. Sometimes you have a lot of roadblocks to get there. but you can tear those down.
Well, and that's why you just have to keep going. Like, my whole thing is like, yeah, you're going to fall on your face. You're going to have a lot of frustrating days. You're going to not find your voice for a while. It's going to take a lot of trial and error. But like, just find a couple people to support you so that you know you can get back up. Because that's been key for me of like, I'll fail faster if I know people have my back. And I'm like, okay, I can do this, you know, and and that for me is like why I love CrossFit. Like I've gotten really into CrossFit, but it's because of the community. Hi, how are you?
This is Sadie.
Hi, Sadie. Did you have a good day at school?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, so CrossFit does that. That fills your void.
Well, for me, it doesn't. It pushes my limits. Like, I wouldn't do half the crazy stuff we do if it weren't for the fact that, like, I see other people doing it and I want to push my physical and mental limits.
That is so cool. Isn't it amazing what the mind can do? I've recently been working out a little bit harder, not CrossFit, but you know, I'm doing it with the trainer. We're doing good things here. And I just feel like, man, like I think it really started with eating gluten-free. I decided that in my mind, wow, you have power. Like you can do anything. You can literally do anything if you allow your mind to go there. And then like, you know, instead of just giving up and saying it's too hard, but like, I don't know why, like after I decided, like, I didn't know I had celiac, so I went gluten-free. And like, it wasn't until like, I like fully put my whole heart and soul into it. And it wasn't a question that I was like, boom, I'm gluten-free, you know? And like, I feel like we have to get to that point where we're just all in. We're all in and nothing's going to stop us. And like CrossFit for you, like, what? That's insane. Like, that's insane.
Yes, but I'm like obsessed. I mean, I do mindset and business coaching too because I'm obsessed with the power of the mind. Like so obsessed because, you know, and I thought it was a bunch of hogwash for years. Like I know I wasn't ready to hear it years ago.
Right.
But now I'm just like, yes, anything you convince your brain of, you can do. Like it's possible.
Yeah. And isn't that crazy that we have that mind power? We just have to tap into it. What a cool job. See, you do. You gotta do all of it. Because we need you all. We need every element of you.
Well, and that's the thing. We just need people. And that's why I love connecting. And I'm every day, right? Like I start with my morning routine and I have my journaling and all my things. But lately I've just been on, especially this month, with interviewing and connecting with people live all over the world, where I'm like, I am so stinking grateful for the internet. Like,
I know.
Mind blown.
I know. Oh, look at all those hearts.
I love it.
Look at, we're all here together because of the internet.
Yes.
So
oh my gosh, so true. What do you think, Sadie?
Sadie thinks it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, so let's tell people where they can find you and where they can find your webinar too.
Oh, good. Yeah. So you can find me at Serving Celiacs, just like that, on Instagram. That's usually where you're going to find me. That's where I love. I feel like everyone's so nice on Instagram, and like we're just such a tight community.
I love all those hearts. So many.
I know. I don't know what I just said, but thanks. No, I'm just kidding. So you can find me on Serving Celiacs, and then the webinar, you can just go to my Serving Celiacs Instagram, and then go to my bio. I have links for everything, so you can sign up there.
Cool. Yeah. And it's next Thursday, did you say?
This Thursday.
This Thursday. Hey. Okay, awesome.
Like, why not? Yeah.
Awesome.
It's so fun.
Yes. Okay. So everyone needs to go follow Coral and hang out at Serving Celiacs. Such great information. And check out all of her resources. Like seriously awesome what you're doing.
Oh, right back at you. You are incredible. Like you're up there in my world.
Thank you. This was so fun. Yes. Thanks for joining. And everyone can watch the replay for 24 hours if they miss it. And I'll have it available after as well.
Yay. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Coral. I'll talk to you soon.
Have a great day.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.